Hi, this is Tina Lorenz, and I'm here today with one of my Authentic Copy students, Elizabeth McGee. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi there.
I'm glad you could join me today. Elizabeth has been in Authentic Copy for just a few short weeks and has already had some really cool results from it. And so I asked her to join me today so we could talk about it. So thanks for joining me. And
Hi, thanks for having me.
I was looking back to see, like, when exactly did you join? And it's been a few weeks, but something really cool happened after just literally a few weeks, a matter of days in the program. What happened for you? How long had you been in the program?
Yeah, it did happen quickly. I joined just after the new year, and sometime in February. I kind of got started right away. I jumped in and I started reading the material, and I joined the group really quickly, the Facebook group for Authentic Copy. And within, I think, about 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks, I ended up getting my first paid client, which is super exciting. I know. Yeah, it happened pretty quickly for me.
Yeah, actually, I went back and looked at the numbers of how long you'd been in because I knew about the client, and it was exactly 26 days. 26
Yeah.
days from being in the program, you had your first paying client.
Yeah.
So when I teach an Authentic Copy, is these three essential components. So I teach, writing the opt-in, writing a sales letter, writing emails. But I also teach that you can just take part of that even and kind of stay 3 steps ahead. You can begin writing copy for clients. And so did you have to write the opt-in and the sales letter and the emails within that 26 days? Is that what you were doing?
No, I didn't do that. And that's one of the great things I think about this group is that you just sort of start where you're at and go from there. And I only did the email component for this project that I worked on. I haven't done any sales letters yet or opt-ins, but it's totally possible to just start with one and sort of learn that and get it down and feel comfortable. It was a huge, for me, is just sort of feeling like, yeah, I can do this. It's working.
Yeah, I think that's really exciting because the emails are, I would say, easier to write than just writing the sales letter. So a person could even start by specializing, and I'm an email writer. One of the things that is exciting to me in Authentic Copy is getting new copywriters ready to meet with clients, because I get asked every week now, because of my colleagues and masterminds I'm in know that I'm teaching copywriting again, because I haven't had a program where I was teaching for a while. And I'm getting requests all the time for, do you have anybody that can do this? Because my fees are super high, and a lot of people can't afford that yet. And so I call it affordable copywriting, but still paying very well. And so we're not going to go specific numbers, but were you able to recover what you invested in Authentic Copy by writing those emails within the first 3 weeks?
Yeah, I was. And that was the other shocking thing to me. Just surprised me that that I was able to do it so quickly. I did. I made my money back that I spent in the program plus some, which was awesome.
That's really exciting.
It's definitely inspired me to keep going even more.
So the other thing I think that happens with this, we have you mentioned the Facebook group, and it's called the Authentic Copy Interactive. It's a private Facebook group. And I go in live every week and I critique copy. I teach new marketing strategies. We go more deeply into the things that you're learning in Authentic Copy, mindset, just really keeping that success mindset tuned up. And so did you have to write those emails all by yourself? Like, okay, good luck, Elizabeth. Hope you can write them.
Oh, no. I mean, I got started, but there's so many resources between the guidebook, and I always tune in on Tuesdays to the Q&A, which is super helpful. And seeing other people's work get critiqued is huge, because you can apply it to anything that you're doing, really.
I ended up actually critiquing your emails for you. So actually, we went back and forth and really fine-tuned those emails for the clients to make sure that they were really the best they could be. And you were writing them, but I gave you the input, and I went through and said, here's why. So I think that one of the things that I really strive to do is not just say, well, just change this, when I'm critiquing the copy, but teach you why we're changing that.
Right.
So what's your experience with that, as you were learning and editing yourself with your emails? What was your experience with learning from me?
I think that was the biggest part for me, was the why. It wasn't just like, this is what you should do, and that's what, this is what you should do, just do it. It was definitely a mindset thing, and I found that intriguing, because every time you critiqued one, a part of my copy, I could see why. I said, oh, sense. That completely makes sense. And then when I went to write the next one, I would apply that, and I learned something every single time.
Yeah, because really the strategies. This is one of the things I keep stressing. These strategies work for any niche market. They work whether you're writing the sales letter, whether you're writing the emails. The same concepts are going to work. And so I think that's what you experienced as you were changing. Doing some editing on the emails you were writing. That it was already kind of embedding in your subconscious to the point more than you even might realize as you were writing the next one. It's like, oh yeah, this is why I'm doing this. And so there's almost like a pattern to it to replicate, and it's still original and for that particular client and their particular product, but it works, the framework of why you're doing that. Do you feel like, does that make sense to you? Does that sound like what happened?
Yeah. Absolutely, because I think one of the things that you had said in one of your videos was everything that I do in my copy, there's a reason why something is bolded or underlined, italics or whatever. I found that was happening as I was doing it. I was like, that needs to be capital letters. That should be, and as you were critiquing it and, even adding more of that, it made total sense. And by the end of the sequence of emails that I wrote, I would have started completely differently from taking everything that I learned from that experience. So next time I can take that and apply it to the next one, and I feel even better about it. Well,
that's the thing, because did this take what I'm thinking here, I'm kind of stumbling over my words here, but did this take you this sounds like, wow, you went back and you edited, and did this take you a really long time to write these emails?
It actually didn't take as long as I thought it was going to. Once you get going, once you start, and I think one of your tips too is to just start writing, because you could just sit there all day and think about it. And I did a lot of thinking when I wasn't writing, but once I sat down to write and just got it out, it kind of went quickly. That's what
I call the subconscious copywriting. It's actually kind of percolating, right? You're kind of thinking about it. So you're kind of working on it without realizing you're working on it. It just starts happening when you sit down and start to write, you already kind of know where you're going. But the thing is, thinking about what you told me for the deadline with it, I believe you had all of these emails written in about 2 weeks from start to finish. That's with the edits, everything. About 2 weeks, right? And I don't think you were doing 12-hour days or anything to try to write.
No, definitely not. No, definitely not. I was surprised how quickly it went once I got going. Yeah.
So how many emails did you write in that 2-week period for the client? How many?
In the end, it turned out to be 8 emails for the client.
That's awesome. And so then, you got your first paid. And have you ever written anything? Have you ever written copy before? Have you ever gotten paid to write copy before? Any particular?
No.
Yeah. So this was the first, right? Your first client, first time.
This was a first for me. This is completely new for me.
Let's just review. Yeah, it had been in authentic copy for 26 days. You got your first client through kind of a networking opportunity that came up from being in the group. You were able to write 8 emails, and you got paid that more than recovered what you invested in authentic copy. You delivered 8 emails within 2 weeks. And here's the best part. What did the client say to you when you delivered the emails?
Oh, she said, wow. She was really and happy. I think wow.
Yeah.
I think it exceeded her expectations, which of course I'm thrilled about, because, there's always that, go ahead and send them, and it being one. I thought they were pretty good, and we had talked about it, and I was happy with what we were giving her. And it's just waiting to see what she would say. And she was surprised and happy. It was great.
Well, I can actually testify here myself, because I know this client, and I happened to have a conversation with her yesterday. She's beyond happy. Elizabeth is being very modest. The client is like, oh my gosh, she was like, I can't even believe what I got. She actually shared with me that in the past, she has a very successful business. She's not a copywriter. She has a very successful business. And like many entrepreneurs, she was feeling stuck by, I know I need this email sequence, and I know I need to be doing this, and this part's hard for me, because what she does, she's like genius at what she does. But this part was like, that kind of a feeling.
Yeah.
So in the past, she thought, well, why would I pay someone to write copy? Because they're not going to be able to sound like me or be, me. And so one of the things I did is I helped you with how you would interview the client, how you would meet with them ahead of time to get the information you needed. So that was the first step. And then you began, you kind of laid out that plan and you began writing the emails. And now the client is like, this is better than I ever would have done for myself. She said, I said to her, so this is kind of like you, only better. And she said, exactly. I mean, she's seriously blown away by what she got. Awesome. And so I'm just like, yes, Elizabeth, high five. Because I just love when this happens for people that I'm teaching copy to. As a matter of fact, the client I happen to know has told you that she's probably going to want you to write some more emails and possibly a sales letter. Yeah. And so the thing I want people to understand with watching this is how really achievable this is. You put in the effort. You started right away. You joined the group. You didn't sit back in the corner and say, well, I'll just try and kind of do this on my own. You know, you became involved immediately, which is very important. And there's one of the things I've talked about for years since I started copywriting myself when I became a copywriter is networking, how important the networking is. And, you know, I've shared the story with you inside the group that I went to an event in Maine, and it was a small event. I went as a brand new copywriter. I'd never written for anyone. And I had the opportunity from going to that. I wrote my first sales letter, got invited to another event, wrote another sales letter, and that's how it all started for me. And so I really, really encourage people about the networking. And now there's so many ways to network online, you know, and you never know where that networking opportunity is coming from. So for you, it came from being on Authentic Copy and being in the Authentic Copy Interactive Facebook group because you participated. This opportunity arose for you. And that's, I just can't emphasize that enough for people just getting started. You know, when, you know, new copywriters like, how am I going to get that first client? How am I going to get it? And we have a bonus. I include a bonus about some ways to get a first client, but and networking is one of them. And to me, it's right at the top of the list. It's really at the top of the list because with who you know, and by, you know, people getting to know you and being helpful and being willing, things can happen that might surprise you, you know, and that's what happened for Elizabeth. So I just want to say I'm so proud of you, really proud of you. And I'm excited for where this is going to go for you, because I know that you were in another profession. It was kind of like, not really wanting to do this anymore. And there's so many people that are like, I don't like my job. I don't want to have to go work for someone else. I know you have children. You want to be available to them. I know, you know, they do things. I think they play soccer, you know, things like that you want to be involved with. Right.
Yeah.
And I think you're already beginning to see how freeing this can be to learn to write copy and what the possibilities are.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So one of the things.
Yeah. I'm definitely seeing that it's not the too good to be true kind of thing. Cause you know, you wonder, you're looking around for opportunities and you're not sure which ones to spend your time pursuing. And I did some research about copywriting. And then when I came to the course, by that point, I just knew that if I tried to do it myself, it was going to take a million years and I would be doing a lot of guesswork. I was kind of already guessing. I had so many questions and I just needed people to talk to. Right. I just didn't take the slow boat and have it take me 5 years to, you know, and I started a little bit with an online with Upwork, which I think it can be really great. But when you're just starting out and you also have all those questions, I found it to be really difficult. So this was great because I didn't wait too long before I joined your group, which I'm really glad for because I think I saved myself a ton of time. And I immediately, you know, started getting stuff out of the Q&A sessions and just having other people in the group to talk to I think is huge. And you don't feel like you're alone, and it shows you that, you know, you can do this can be done. I didn't have any experience in this field at all. And it really can be done.
So you're officially a Celestial Sherpa now. We call ourselves Celestial Sherpas in the group. So I guess in closing, I'd just like to say, you know, for anyone that's thinking about, I think I might want to, you know, try copywriting. Is it for me? What about this authentic copy thing Tina Lorenz does? What would you say to someone considering joining Authentic Copy?
Oh yeah, I would say do it. I'd say go for it. Join. Don't wait any longer if you're thinking about it. And if you've made the decision that you want to learn about copywriting, just do it. Just make the decision. Just do it. Jump right in. You do get out of it, you know, what you put in. So, you know, there's lots of material. You got to take it all in. You got to go back and read it again, maybe. Watch Tina's video. I've watched them all. So I would say don't wait. you'll get out what you put in, and it's definitely is a great opportunity, and I would recommend it to anyone who's looking for something with some flexibility. You don't want to be in the office all day. You want to make your own schedule, and you want to be able to make decent money doing it.
Exactly. And it's only going to go up from here. You know, as you continue to learn and you start accumulating more clients, it just continues to get better. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I can totally.
And I'm going to see you in the group, see each other in the group every week.
Yeah.
And, I'm excited to continue to see your journey as you become a freelance copywriter, which actually you already are. So
Yay!
growing your experience. So thanks again. And I hope this helps those of you watching today. I'll talk to you soon, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Thank you.